Hello, card players and card collectors of all kinds. Welcome back to my channel. It's time for another deck talk. As you can see, back in the mask. And today, I wanted to talk about deck building and how it relates to community building and the different kinds of communities of players we have out there and how we can relate to our experiences and how it can impact us. So there's a lot that I wanted to go over today. To start with, deck building is a lot like world building. Um, I'm a published author, actually. I only have one book so far, but still, it's something. And so I know a lot about world building, and I believe that when you build a deck, you essentially, like when you write a story, you collect all the little parts and you put them together into one cohesive story, one unit. Every individual piece in that story matters. Every character, whether they're the main character or just playing a very minor role, has value and has meaning in that deck. And the same is true of any book that you would read or write. Um, I believe that it's really important to recognize how communities um, come together and how that is very similar to how we as card players build decks. We as card players, we take together all of these little components, all these different cards, big, small, that all have meaning, and we put them together in these decks. And these decks, they become a part of us, and we become a part of them. And that's basically what being part of a community is. Um, you are a member of a community, and likewise, you are a part of your deck. And I think it's really valuable and important to recognize how much synergy there is between those two things. And the reason I wanted to talk about this today in particular is I wanted to just go over my experiences with different communities of players so far, since I've tried to get back into competitive playing, and just try to analyze. Sorry. Try to show how important it is for us as players to contribute to positive uh, relationships and positive experiences in these communities so that we all feel welcome and all feel included. And I think that's really important because every person who picks up a card and puts together a deck is a player who has meaning and value and deserves to be respected within a community. That being said, not all communities are the same, and not all decks are the same. Some decks are designed around the idea of one card consuming all the other cards, one card being dominant. Um, and there are communities where you have one person who just takes the lead and everybody else follows. And I personally am not a fan of communities such as that. I find that a deck like that and a community like that is really a toxic experience. Um, I feel that a deck built around a single card without recognizing the synergy that that card has with all the other cards and the importance of all the other cards to that deck is it's just not the way that you should go about things, in my opinion. I feel like that is building a community that's set up for failure. Um, Honestly, that seems kind of cultish. I feel that the best communities are communities where players and cards in our decks interact with each other in positive ways that lift us all up and make us feel valuable, whether we are the big fish or the small fish at the table. Everybody deserves to feel important, and everybody deserves to feel like they're they have a place in the community. And I feel personally that you will find some communities just aren't that way. But most of my decks that I build are built with that kind of perspective in mind. Yes, I do have a soul card in each deck. It's one thing I actually really like about Commander is the idea that they depend on having one card set aside, or possibly two if there's partners. And that card is basically you on the battlefield. And I feel that's really cool. Um, it's similar to Deckmaster rules in Yu Gi Oh! But those, that is not um, the experience that I've had in every community. Um, you all know that a couple weeks ago I had a really bad experience at locals, and I have decided I'm not going back for a little while as a result of that. And while I recognize that the the rest of the community was trying to help the player I was playing against to understand his deck and do a better job of playing it, I also recognize that the community they've designed there is far more competitive, far more based on wins and losses, and it matters. Whereas a more relaxed community, like the one that the professor has created on his Tolarian Community College page, where players can just go and chat and have fun playing Commander, and there's no real hostility for the most part. It's been really a refreshing experience to play there. So that's why I've been doing a lot more Magic content lately than Yu Gi Oh content, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the content regardless of whether it's Yu Gi Oh or Magic or something else, possibly in the near future. Um, but with that said, I just wanted to discuss communities today. Um, I think it's really important that we reflect on the communities we live in, what we're contributing to those communities, and whether we're having a positive experience overall. Because, like deck building, if something isn't working well, it's better to pull it out of the deck and find something that synergizes more than to leave it in and have the deck basically rot from within, from being unplayable. And similarly, sometimes in our communities, we need to know when it's right to take a step away, if we're becoming the toxic person, or if there is toxic people, we need to call them out and make the world a better place. There's too much compliance and too much acceptance of things being the way they are, and we need to do better as a society if we're going to try our best to improve this planet. Anyways, those are just my thoughts. on deck building and communities. I would love to know what you guys think about this subject. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Um, as always, deck talk is really important to me as a person with depression and severe social anxiety. I really enjoy being able to share my thoughts with you guys, and it's my hope to get feedback in the comments. It's my hope that you'll share these videos more so than any of the other ones that I make, because I really want to get some feedback and get some dialogue going about these kinds of things. And yeah, I mean, you look at the state of the world today and you can just see how things are falling apart, and it's times like these where we need to come together and try and make things better. And I hope that videos like this and lots of other people who do similar things, I hope they will connect with others and we'll be able to make things a little better. Anyways, that's all for me for now. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.